What's up, Airsofters? Welcome to MilSim. Today, we're going to be doing something a little different. Had some camera malfunctions at Bonestrike 5, so I didn't get the footage that I really wanted. But I'm going to salvage this and turning it into a learning experience. I'm going to show you what we did wrong and how to fix that. Also, what we did right and how to implement that in your play style and your team. Some of the talking points that we're going to be going over is going to be knowing your place in the stack. Don't flag your guys. Clear as you go. Sectors of fire. Security. And keeping up with your team. Anybody that's been to a Bonestrike event knows how difficult it is to keep up with your team. So that is a very big portion of such a small, tight, CQB focused map. First, let's get into the video so that way you can see what I'm talking about. I'm also going to stop and talk about a section, play it, and stop and talk about a section. So let's get into this. Okay, just a few seconds into this clip, and there's already some major things to talk about. One of the things that I'm going to be showing you is knowing your place in the stack. You can see just right off the bat, like right here. Okay, so I'm the number 3 man in the stack. My job is just to follow this number 2 guy. The number 2 guy's job is to follow the number 1. So we come out of this doorway. The number 1 guy, this is also another important thing. Clear as you go. The number 1 guy goes out. It goes into this doorway, checking to make sure nobody's going to come out behind us. The number 2 guy takes a section of the available area and uses he grabs his sector of fire, uses his eyes to just watch a section. I'm also about to do the same thing myself. So you see that he has a sector of fire over here, watching that. My sector of fire is here. We overlap just a little bit, but not quite enough as much as I would like. This guy, he's the last man over here in the corner. But you can see what's going on here in just a second. So I've done a sector of fire shift. He's done a sector of fire shift. He's watching this direction. Shifted again, watching into that doorway. The last man, okay. So the last man, he came out of that doorway and tapped me on the shoulder, letting me know that, hey, I'm gone. I'm going. We're good. Let's go. As you're pulling security, and anybody that is pulling security, you should not move from your position except for under 2 conditions. 1, your last man has done let you know to come on, or 2, you're taking heavy fire, and if you don't turn around, then you're going to get shot in the back. But don't be scared and turn around if you start taking fire, because you need to trust your guys to be able to eliminate that threat so you're not getting shot in the back because you stopped and turned around. So you see how right here? Big thing about security. If we were just to walk past that and there's guys, which it happened, especially at this event, it happened, where we would just walk past the door, look in it, nobody's there, take off. And they would come right out behind us and just completely murder us because we were not watching our backs. Now, see right here? He's inside the doorway, protected from our side, protected from behind. Only thing he has to worry about is where I'm at and in front of him. It was a very quick movement. But you can see where I tapped him on the shoulder to let him know. I tapped him on the shoulder to let him know it was the last man. And we're moving down. We're taking our sectors of fire. We're doing a lot of overlap right here because it's such a big courtyard and there's only a few entrances. Now, when you're coming up to a doorway, this is a mistake we made. When you're coming up to a doorway, you're one man. He's not even facing the door. He's turned sideways. We should have put a man right here on this door to keep us from getting shot from there. And we should have had a guy pulling security. There's only 4 of us, so some of that is very difficult to do. Now, as the number 1 man, you should have been ready on the move. But things happen and you need to get adjusted. So keep that in mind when you're about to enter a structure. We haven't shot a single round, so there's no reason for him to need to like reload or anything like that. But me, I had to fold my stock in because I have an SMG. I am the most mobile. I needed to fold my stock in. This guy right here needed to, this is Joker, by the way, needed to do a shoulder change to where when he comes into the room, into the doorway, he is ready to go up and out, as opposed to being on the other shoulder and having to show his entire body to be able to aim down his sights. Now this is a stairwell. I'm waiting on the last man to come up behind me. As soon as he taps me, I tap the guy in front of me, and then he taps the guy in front of him, letting the number 1 man know that it's time to go. That's a big portion. Being able to stay in a stack and stay together in these bigger events like this is a very, very big portion to you being a very effective element. The hardest thing about these events is staying together and being effective. If you have a guy that goes down and you leave him, or he's pulled security and you leave him, your effectiveness, especially if you're a 4-man team, your effectiveness just got cut 25%. You lose another guy, your effectiveness has been cut by 50%. And then next thing you know, you're 2 guys against 40, and that's not a fight you can win. It's just not. 4 guys against 40 is much more realistic than 2 against 40. It's still you're probably going to die, but you know, it's airsoft. You can go respawn. Now watch as we're clearing this stairwell. We're looking in between the rails, looking in between the staircases, trying to see feet, trying to see heads, guns, anything that would let us know if the enemy is right there. Also, the first man in the stack takes security on the door. The second man immediately starts rotating around the staircase, and so on and so forth. It's kind of like a leapfrog effect. Also, remember on staircases like this to be careful of your footing. Don't go into a rush and fall and make a lot of racket. That'll get you killed as quickly as anything else. And in airsoft, it'll get you injured for no reason. Now, this particular spot right here, I screwed up. There were some things that I did not do that I should have. Primarily is I should have kept my rifle on that door frame to see in case it opened up and enemies were coming out, or they heard us and they shoved the door open. I should have been ready for contact. I also should have slowed down a little bit and let the number 2 guy catch up a little closer. So that way, as soon as I get on this door, he can rotate around the staircase and start looking up the staircase. Some major flaws that I did. That's just a training issue. Okay, so in this spot right here, I turned around and started pulling security because I knew we were going to stay on this doorway for a while. So There's a floor above us. There's a floor below us. We don't know where the enemy's at. We don't know if they're above us. We don't know if they're below us. Like, you want to be ready for whatever comes, especially if you've got dead men walking out. There's a likelihood that there will be people coming in under the noise of the dead people, so it's kind of covering their tracks. So keep that in mind as far as like a tactic goes. Okay, major mistake I made right here. We started taking fire, and I turned around and started looking to see where we were taking fire from. Should have just held security. Once again, training issue.
What color? What color? What color? All right.
Okay, so that's another thing. Target identification. It's really, really difficult in all these CQBs situations, especially when you've got so many floors, so many rooms. It's dark. Like, you don't know who you're fighting. You want to make sure that you're engaging the enemy team. If you're engaging your friendlies, then you're just literally screwing yourself. Like, it's frustrating. It happened a lot at this event, just the way the event plays out and all that kind of stuff. You've got green team on the floor, then tan team takes the floor over, then you get green team taking the floor back over, and then it's already swapped hands 3 or 4 times by the time you walk to respawn and come back. So target identification is very important. This year at this Bonestrike, our code was Daggum, and if you did not respond with Dandelion, then you got shot. Or if you had a combination code, which was 7, if we said 4, you said 3, you didn't get shot, you were friendly. If we said 4, you said 7, then you got shot. Or if we said 0 and you said 7, you got shot. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, that your call signs and your verification, whether it's a code or a password or whatever, is being used. Also, light identification. For this event, your ID color for the Western, which is a tan team, was blue. A lot of our team did not know that. So read up on your op board, read up on your information, and see what kind of rules and identification things that you can use to be helped with. Like I said, if I shine a blue light down the hallway, then you should immediately know that that is tan team. But instead, I shine a blue light down the hallway and I got shot. On the green team, their ID color is pretty easy. Green team, green light, whatever. So if you see a green light down the hallway, guess what? They're the enemy. Like, it's that simple. Target identification. It's far more difficult at night and in the dark. But anyway. Okay. Moving while under the cover of fire. This guy and this guy and the guy over there are all using 30 round mags. 2 of them are gas blowbacks, the other one's an 8G. You don't have a lot of rounds to play with. Now, that doesn't mean you can't move. You send 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds down range at an enemy, they're going to tuck their head back, and you can move. What we've seen a lot at this event, or I seen a lot at this event, was people would shoot, get behind cover, run across the hallway. Like, why would you do that? Why would you not move when you have a friendly shooting down the hallway, keeping the enemy pinned down? Now you've moved while they're behind cover and they don't know where you're at. Well, there was a lot of that. The green team did much better on movement this year than we did. It was really kind of sad that the tan team got smoked because there was a major lack of communication, a major lack of tactics, and just the tan team was just scared. They were just scared. Like, they didn't push, they didn't move. But it's a topic for another day.
Go high, go high. Where at? Right. What? I'm going or you going? No, not you.
Okay. So what we're doing here is this is the basic communication that every team should have. Now, part of this did not go as well as planned. I had no idea where the enemy was down the hall. All he said was the enemy was on the right. These hallways are long. Like they're easily 100, 150 feet long, and there's a room. I mean, you can see it right here. Like, look, there's a room here, room there. Like, we'll say what, 10 feet apart. So at 100 feet, that's 10 rooms, 10, 15 rooms that you have to look at. Anyway, he did not give the enemy position very clearly, distance, direction, descriptions, the 3Ds. It's very, very important.
Okay, I can tell myself. Ready? I'm out.
He's also one was back on the right. Yeah. You go hallway, I'm gonna go hallway. Copy. You go next.
Just as a pro tip, learn how to reload offhanded. I totally fumbled this. Like, it took way too long to reload. Way too long. I should have been reloaded and at least half that time. But I didn't because I was reloading offhand. The mag turned wrong. Like, it's a whole myriad of problems. But mostly, it goes back to a training issue. So train to reload offhanded so that way when you get on a door where you're having to use your off shoulder, your offhand, then you can reload efficiently.
Back up.
Okay, one of the things I've said before, don't flag your guys. I just flagged my guy. Right there, just flagged him. It's not something I should have done. Hey, you can go right here. We're not flagging each other when we come out of this hallway. When we come out, nobody's guns are up until people are out of the way. So that way we're not flagging each other. Please do not flag your guys. If for whatever reason your glove gets caught on a trigger, happened last year at this event, and I almost shot my own guy. Thankfully, I did not. But it was a real problem, and it almost happened. We were in a tier 1, and my glove got hung on my trigger. Thankfully, I was not pointed at my people. Now, if I would have been, I would have just shot somebody in the face. Could have shot, not. I could have shot Joker in the face. Anyway, you can see it. He's gonna move right here.
I'm out.
He's also one was back on the right.
So right here.
I'm gonna go hallway. You go forward. Copy. You go next.
That reload is horrible.
Back up.
He goes. I'm shooting, and it's just. I wait till at least he gets past before I start shooting, but I should not have flagged him like that.
Okay.
Now, when he comes across, I do a much better job of not flagging. Oops, missed it. You're right there. That was the proper procedure for not flagging your people. When someone crosses, you either lower the rifle or pick it up. The best practice is to lower it, so that way, like in the real rifle, when you lower it, I would much rather shoot somebody in the leg than I would to shoot them in the head by accident. You pick it up, you're pointing closer to their head than you are if you're pointing down. So just, it's a training thing and a personal preference. Also, something I did not think about until I had started going through and watching this footage. I should have ran my SMG for cover fire down the hallway in semi-auto the whole time, because I can put more consistently put rounds down range without burning my mags up. There is no reason for me to be running full auto or running so many rounds down range, because it doesn't make a difference. Yeah, it kind of scares the enemy, but a constant stream of bullets would do a far more effective job than a few bursts. And I'm saving ammo, and it's just a much better. I'm more combat effective because I'm not burning through so many mags. So just a little pro tip.
No.
Yeah.
You're gonna go Jonah.
I'm going to Jonah?
Yeah. That's what we're talking about.
Reloading.
Hey, look. Drop that now, you're gonna stay on our side, all right? We gotta do it.
Okay, so if you were hearing in the audio, you have to be able to adapt. The original plan was for me to push over to this doorway right here. Well, he's got eyes down this hallway. 3 doors on the left. Well, 3 doors on the left, there is an enemy that if I was to try to push this to this door, I would get smoked. They're like, okay, drop that. Now we're going to go down here. I'm going to go into the same doorway that they were, slide a little bit of miscommunication. Took me a second to understand it. It's hard to hear in there, the way things are echoing and stuff. It actually picks up better on my camera than it does in real life. It's either that or I'm just deaf. Who knows?
Stay on our side.
Little low. What you got?
All right?
I'm staying on your side.
Yeah, come down the hallway on our side, there's a door right here.
Go in front of you or behind you?
Come right in front of me.
10-4. Ready?
Yep.
Going. Hit.
Okay. There's also something else that you need to keep in mind. I did not wait until they started shooting before I moved. I started moving and then they started shooting. Big mistake. It's how I got shot. It was just a lapse in judgment. I knew better. I should have done better, but I didn't. So short and sweet version of this is they picked me up and here we are.
Hey,
Motherfucker. No. Contact to your left. That is green. 100%.
hey, watch these, watch.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to this and let you guys hear this conversation.
Hit.
Hey,
Motherfucker. No. Contact to your left. That is green. 100%.
hey, watch these, clear these rooms.
Okay. Just because if you're in a building and you have friendly on the other side of the building does not mean that it is clear. I cannot tell you how many times, and I might even pull the video up. I can't tell you how many times we had people go into a room and hide, and there'd be tan on both sides. That tan team would walk in, and this one green guy would come in and team wipe the whole floor. Like, it was pure bullcrap. And it was all because people didn't like pay attention. They didn't clear their rooms as they went. They're like, oh, well, tan's up here, so obviously it's clean. No, you need to clear and re-clear unless tan or your team, whatever color it is holding the floor. Unless they're holding it and have been holding it, then it's not clear. Unless you have gone through and checked it. So keep that in mind. Don't get complacent because your team is on that floor. If they're on the other side and there's nobody between the two of you, clear as you go. It's a very important rule to keep you from getting shot in the back and making big mistakes by getting team wiped. I'm going to try to pull up this video to give you an accurate description of what happens. I seen it and I was like, wow, guys, wow. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. This dude just straight up hides in this hallway and just team wipes everybody. Just hiding in this room. Nobody sees him. Nobody checks. Literally, the tan guys run into the room and are hiding in the room. Like, here we go, right here. I'm going to pull it up for you guys. Like, here it is, right here. So this is the big reason why you should be pulling security and clearing as you go. Find where it happens. It's right here. Oh, too far. So watch this. Pure bull crap.
I'm dead.
Like, what? Like, how? If you're fighting in a building and the only thing you do is go in the door and shoot down the hallway, you don't clear the room you just entered, this is what happens. Dude, dude's dead. And look, he just chilling there and gets smoked because he didn't come in the room and clear it. Even though he probably would have died anyway because this guy right here was already posted up on the door. But that's beside the point. Like, should not have ever happened. He should have gone in, cleared the room, and then started shooting back outside the hallway. But anywho, that's it for today's video. We are going to be correcting some of these issues. These are just training problems from us not working together as a group as efficiently as we could have. We're not perfect, as you've seen. I'm not perfect, as you've seen. This is a learning experience for all of us. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy this, like and subscribe and share the video. If you want to see more of this, comment on my video. Let me know that what you guys want to see. If you don't want to see more of this and you think I'm just full of crap, then just be like, hey, bro, like, chill. We don't want to see no more of this. Just let me know. Peace out, guys.